Welcome back, and today's review is going to be on this little special item, the SOTO ST-310 camping stove. Hello guys, welcome back to RS Outdoors 7.4, and like the title of the video says, today it's all about the SOTO ST-310 camping stove. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'll run through a few of the stats. I'll show you mine. It's had a few modifications, it's not standard. I'll show you a quick setup, and I'll show you some clips of the stove in action. Right, so here it is. I keep mine in this little case, SOTO case. This doesn't come with the product itself. I had to buy this as an extra. Alright, so be aware of that. When you get a stove, it comes in a little small lightweight carrying sack. You know, it's lightweight. So it's lightweight. The actual stove itself, minus the windshield. This stove itself, it's 350 grams, I believe, on its own. There it is. There. That's basically what you get. That's what you get, right? Okay, so some people call it the spider stove, and that's because these legs open out like this, so it comes very small and then opens out. Then you pop up the heat guard, pop it down like that. When it's stored, this little thing when it first comes like that, right? It's 140 millimeters wide. All right, its depth is 70 millimeters. All right, and its height is 110 millimeters. That's when it's stored. When it's opened out, obviously everything else is the same, but the width increases to 166 millimeters. And to repeat, guys, it's not what you're going to call a lightweight stove. This is 350 grams in weight. All right. Right. So when you first get your SOTO stove, it looks a little bit different to this. Like I said, I've done a couple of modifications on mine. So I've adjusted the gas regulator knob, that's different. I've added twists and one. When it first comes, it's a little bit like this, a small thin metal clip. Not very good. I mean, do the job, it works, right? But I paid a little bit of money. Ordered this from AliExpress along with the igniter clicker as well. You know, the original one is literally, I don't know if you can see, but there's just a little black switch under there. You probably can't see from my shirt. But the igniter means that you get an actual clicker. It feels really solid as well when you light it, and I just like it better. It makes the stove feel better and more efficient to me. I prefer it like that. Okay. So another good thing about this stove, alright, it runs off butane, which any camper, wild camper knows is going to be cheaper than your other cans. Alright, get 3 of these for $5. You know, next to nothing. Where your other cans come for the small 100 grams worth of gas, camping gas, etc. You know, you can maybe be paying what, £5-6 quid for one to stick in your jet boiler or whatever, or your little ones to take with you with your BRS stove. So yeah, cheap. Right. So it's just basically, you've got the typical connector there, where you just use that little bit there, a little bit, that little notch goes into that little notch. Alright, on there, right there. Alright, it goes into that notch. So this notch goes into this notch. Alright, like that. And then you twist it in. That's it. That's it. Done. And then that pops down. That's the heat reflector. Alright. So if you're going to go ahead and fire it up, dead easy. Right? Turn this little regulator here. You'll hear the gas coming out. You can probably hear that there. Click the igniter, boom, there you go. And use the regulator, obviously to adjust it down to where you are and what you need it for. Now, the reason why I'm so in love with this little stove and why I take this everywhere with us now, I mean, like I said, I'm not really a lightweight camper. It doesn't flick me switch. I'm more about kit that's efficient, kit that works. If you're going to cook properly with this, right, it's perfect for even heat distribution. It's like your hob at home. You know, you can see how many gas vents they've got there, right? So you've got just unbelievable control over the heat. If you want it high and you want it roaring, blast it up, you know, turn it right up. You'll get a roaring flame. That's powerful enough for anybody. But even boiling some water with that, it doesn't take long, mate. But you can, look at that, look at the control. You know, there's no jump between the heat. It's actual real control with that little valve and that little adjuster. And this is why I love it. When you're cooking in real time, if you've got a pan on there or what have you, you know, you can adjust it to simmer, to boil. I love it. I think it's absolutely great. I'll put a couple of clips in now and let you see it in action. Right then, so you can see it's easy to use, and you probably noticed on there, like I said, you can boil your food quickly with it, but then you can drop it down to a simmer if you want to. Make sure once you turn it off, it's cooled down a bit. I mean, that there, just after that quick blast, that's still a little bit warm, that. Still a little bit warm, that. One thing I didn't mention, these little black rubber leg protectors, they're extra as well. So I bought those, this little wind guard, which is superb by the way. It's an actual SOTO wind guard. The gas modulator or gas regulator and igniter, they're all extras. I paid extra for them. You don't get the wind guard with it, but to be fair, I never had an issue. I've never really tried this stove in like winter or absolute blasting winds and rain, but I put the wind guard on because I know I'm going to. And to be fair, I'm probably going, if the weather's like that, you're going to be cooking in your vestibule probably anyway. You're not just going to be sitting right out in the middle of it, are you? If it's blowing a hoolie or it's, you know, heavy snow or rain, you'll be tucked away in your tent in the vestibule, so there'll be an element of protection anyway. You could even put one of your little guards around if you want to anyway, one of those little fold out metal guards, or some kind of foil cover. You're on the score. Taking it apart and putting it away, easy. You know, like I just showed you in the last clip there. Pull up the heat protector, twist the gas canister back so the locks are aligned, pop it off, easy peasy. Alright, make sure that your regulator nozzle is screwed right back in. The legs, right, these legs have got tiny little black pressy bits on them there. Right, push them in, fold them in, push it in, fold them in, pop it up, fold it in. There's a one there, pop it up, and that just folds in. Easy. Pop down the heat protector, alright, and that's where we pack the wig in. Stick it back up, let that one pop out there, didn't I? He says, right, pop that back in there, zip it up, get your lid back on your gas canister, easy peasy. So I've got two of those now, and they're on my go-to stove. I've got all kinds, you know, I've got got the Windmaster, I've got the MSR pop-up rocket, I've got a couple of jet boils, I've got the little BRS lightweight stove, and multiple little Chinese stoves of all kinds and sizes and stuff like that. I've bought all kinds of kit over the years, you know, but this, right now, this little SOTO ST-310, this is my favourite stove of all time at this point in time. I said the heating control, it's very precise, it's very measured, and it allows you to do whatever you want to be doing, whether that's boiling, simmering, frying, cooking. In my personal opinion, this is an outstanding product. But like I said, it's 350 grams. It's not for lightweight campers. You know, it's probably about 10-20 times heavier than what you're used to. But for me, like I said, I'm not worried about that. So I'd say, if you're not a lightweight camper, if you're not worried about the weight, 350 grams isn't going to break your back carrying that, right? If you're not bothered, go out and get one of these, and I promise you, you'll thank yourself for it later on. Right, so thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this quick episode and this fast review of the SOTO ST-310. Like, subscribe. I'll put the stats down in the description as normal. so you can see them in more detail, and I'll put a link where you can buy this little stove, because it's getting harder to come by, but they're around about 75 to 100 quid if you're lucky enough to find one, but I'll put a link down there.